Yeah, we'll just start. Hi, this is Sanjay. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Rahul. I'm
Rahul.
the co-founder of Mac, Velandat Auto Components.
So these are what retrofit scooters.
Yeah, so we make a retrofittable EV kit. What it does, it takes a run-of-the-mill IC engine vehicles and converts them into dual-powered, retrofittable hybrid vehicles which are smart. So it's got an IoT inbuilt wherein you can see the location of the vehicle, GPS, and how much you have covered petrol, how much you have covered electric. So basically what the kit does is it gives you an option to either ride your vehicle either on petrol or electric, as in when you go to whatever your comfort level is. When your electric charge gets over, you switch over to petrol with a flick of a switch, right? Yes. And then when you're done with that, when you're riding in petrol, the electric battery also gets charged, so it takes care of any kind of a range anxiety or a dependency on electrical infrastructure for charging.
Can we have your co-founder? Is he here? What's his name?
His name is Rakesh.
I'll just be on the same 1 second. Yeah. So no, that's fine. We'll continue with you. I'm just coming on the other side. Let him come. Now this thing, are you the first people to develop it in India?
Absolutely. So we have a patent. We have 5 patents.
Yes.
Out of which we have a patent on the motor. We have a patent on this throttle, first of its kind throttle. The overall ideation is that people don't need to change any part of their behavior to adapt to a new technology.
Right.
They don't have to put in their brain that where I'm traveling today and hence what vehicle I need to drive. So it gives you the flexibility to choose either a petrol or an electric, as in with the comfort, right? So there's no change in driving behavior or usage behavior for a consumer.
Okay. And is this possible for any type of model of scooter?
Yeah.
Suppose we are talking of an old Bajaj, Chetak.
No, so we are looking at scooters specifically like Honda Activa or an Access.
So you mean to say that Porsche scooters made in 2000?
Yes, 125, 110 cc's with less than 15 years of
All right.
age. These are the scooters that are more adept to getting changed.
And how about the safety feature? Be a little loud.
Yeah. So we have taken care of safety in each and every aspect because this product is designed in India for Indian weather conditions and by us. So the entire thought process is that safety is paramount for us. So starting from the motor, where we have thermal protections, to the controllers, the placement of the controllers, as well as the battery with the latest metal enclosures and passive BMS, we are taking care of safety in all formats where the hazards like fire hazard are being would not happen.
Right, and since this is dual energy, I would say.
Yes,
right?
dual energy.
So when you're talking about petrol as a fuel and when you're giving it electric charging,
yes.
So there is a risk of catching fire? No,
absolutely
because the
not.
petrol tank or something.
No, the petrol tank, the placement of battery is such that it is away from the petrol tank.
Right.
The architecture of the old vehicle, and on which we'll put in a layer of a new electrical and electronics onto it. So it's totally different. So there's no interference between our new kit and the old infrastructure.
And this electric will take us how many kilometers on a single charge?
On a single charge, it will take you about 40 kilometers, and that's the actual road condition that we are talking about. So it will cover 40 kilometers on a single charge with a top speed of 50 kilometers.
And this is presently, you can do it in two-wheelers.
Yes.
Can you do it in modified two-wheelers for the handicapped, the Divyangjan?
Absolutely, yes. So
that would be another area where it would be needed.
Normally what you would have seen is that they have 2 wheels on the side for the handicapped.
Yes.
So this can be retrofitted on that way.
Yeah. So the cost will be the same.
Absolutely.
At the moment.
It will become the same. It will be the same.
Yeah,
and
but
hence they can switch over to whichever.
Right. And what about our bike?
Yeah. So
Will
bike
it
comes with an inherent disadvantage of fitment space.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could have
Otherwise, we
managed.
could have done that.
Right.
So what typically happens is most of the people with bike, they already have a high mileage, and hence the per kilometer cost of operations are also pretty low as compared to scooter.
Right. So in the scooter, when you're talking about per kilometer, so when we are going to convert it into electric vehicle,
yes.
So what will be the running cost as of today?
Yeah. So when you're running on an electric for example, electric, your per kilometer running cost will be close to about 10 paise per kilometer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you mean to say that somebody is going to do say 40 kilometers
Yes.
on a single charge?
Right. So depending upon the state,
So it's going to be
depending
how
upon
many rupees?
about 4 to 8 rupees.
4 to 8 rupees?
Depending upon which state you are in.
Yes,
the per
yes.
unit cost is
That's
so
perfect.
10 to 20 paise per kilometer is
Right.
the operating cost
Right.
of an electric vehicle.
And whatever is going into making that retrofit, so this is how you're developing it. Are you buying it or you're making it your?
The entire kit is
Yes.
entirely manufactured in India by us with our own design and with the support of AIM. We have been able to.
You're incubated?
We are incubated.
Where are you
with
incubated?
through AIM,
Through AIM.
through ANIC
Okay.
in Bangalore.
In Bangalore.
Yeah, so it's not incubation. We have got a
So
client.
are you out of Bangalore? You've come to Delhi now?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, because
for
the
this.
number also I
Is
think was
also
Karnataka.
Karnataka. That's Karnataka.
And the question which I asked you offline was when today the electric scooter or electric car is having a green number plate.
Absolutely.
So when
What
you
would
get in
happen
this,
to
then
us?
how will happen the transport authority? How will it do it?
Right. So the nearest closest example that I can talk about is like an LPG conversion kit or a CNG kit. Okay, when that conversion happens, they don't get a green code as such. They get an endorsement on an RTO.
So that's done. Have you been able to get that
No,
authorization?
for that to be done, we are still in the trial phase where we are going through our ARAI certification. Post the ARAI certification, we have to, because we are the first in India to
Yes.
do this on a statutory level
Right.
as well as in terms of the entire compliance level. So then we have to approach the Ministry of Road as well as the RTO and get a process laid out, which will be similar to what is happening with four-wheelers.
Now, what's your background in terms of education, engineering, or
So me and the founder Rakesh both have passed out from BMS College Bangalore. After that, I worked for a year with SKF Bearings, and then I did my MBA from IIT Kharagpur. I went on to work with Tata Motors for about 5 years in sales and marketing. Post that, I have quit and we have started.
so? Why did you really think of this? Because see, like anybody who's like you said, bike. People are having suppose 80 kilometers to a liter or 60 kilometers, and even I think the Honda Activa is supposed to give 40 plus. So, do you think that you have enough market? People would like to pay.
So it's a mixed bag. What our research tells us is
Yes.
that there are a lot of problems in the industry today which the consumer is facing that we are not actually addressing. We're just drumming out that noise saying that electric. Yes, the positive part is you get a very low cost of operation, say 10 to 20 paise. But what people are not talking about is the range anxiety that people feel. Moment it from 50 to a 30% drop happens within seconds. The anxiety that the gentleman feels is you cannot talk about that right now. Secondly, people don't talk about obsolescence, technology obsolescence. The technology is rapidly evolving.
So please come, please join. Be inside, come. Therefore, I came to sit, come. So we have the co-founder. So what's your name?
I'm
Hi.
Rakesh.
Okay, so you people are from Bangalore, is it?
Yes, we are from Bangalore.
Yeah. So we've discussed a lot of things about the machine, the men behind the machine. But since you've just come in, so you can give your own introduction. A little loud, yeah?
So I'm Rakesh. I'm a graduate from
BMS.
College.
Right.
Passed out together. We both passed out together in 2004. Started our career together as a GETs. We had our ways, different ways. I was more of a technical side. I worked with TVS Motors and Mahindra and SKF India Limited
Right.
as a product development person. So Rahul was driving more of a market side. So that's where we got back together in 2016.
Perfect.
And so I focus more on the product side, and Rahul brings his abilities and competencies.
So when
in the
he
market
came in, so my question to him was, ideally, means the people, like I have a scooter, say. Now, I'll just tell you my case. I bought a scooter in 1986, which is a kinetic Honda. It's the first automatic scooter in India. I've got the first piece.
Yes. Perfect.
I've done about 10,000 kilometers in last 34 years.
Correct.
My father parent didn't allow me. I just bought it, Cycle nahi chalana, like automatic scooter lena. I was thinking, we're using I thought ki people tell me it's not a 15, you've crossed that 15-year-old limit. I might be stopped somewhere and they'll say, how are you riding this? So I thought that I will go in for electric, So we were talking that would people invest? This Activa is pretty expensive. So with 40,000, won't it be prohibitive, to invest? Means why will he go in for a lakh of rupees for the scooter and then go in for electric? So how will it work? How will the economics?
How this works is,
Yes.
Activa as a product was launched in Indian market in 2003.
Yes.
Okay, it's been running in the market and is the most successful product in it. Which means like we have a product which is almost 10-year-old in the market. And if you look at the same sentiment of a customer is that the vehicles are really good. They don't want to let it go. Okay, this is one segment.
Yes.
Second, the same people who have been using these Activas are also been informed about electric vehicles. They know the cost of running is higher with petrols. They want to see an alternatives to that. But when it comes to the maturity of a technology today, so it is still evolving. So people want something which is immediately which can solve their problem in terms of range anxiety which is there in electric vehicles. The range anxiety in electric mobility will be solved only if you have a very strong infrastructure for swapping. Unless you have that kind of a reach, how you have a petrol stations, the ability of electric becoming a primary mobility solution is still little farther away for a country like with a size of India.
And even with swapping technology, we are talking about penetration into rural India, tier 2, tier 3 cities. That's where the 80% of the market is today, and that's where the Activas get sold. That's where the pollution happens. Petrol is getting used, kerosene, petrol, diesel, everything is used. So the infrastructure for it to penetrate CNG, we have been talking about CNG for so many years. Delhi as a center and 300 kilometers around, you will still get CNG. But you go in a little bit further,
interior, it won't get.
So what about them? Who takes care about them? Who gives them the benefit of electric charging?
So our question,
So with this two context, one is the vehicles which are there in the market, and people who are already informed about electric mobility as a solution. The next third challenge which comes is affordability. For example, if a customer decides to buy a decent vehicle, which is from a known brand, product which has been tested, approved for all the various safety concerns and reliability issues, it comes somewhere near 90,000 rupees to his expense. Now, this is where the customers will step back and see, okay, I have a vehicle which is there. I've been workhorse for me for almost, like as you said, 15-14 years with me. I don't have any complaint. Maybe outsiders doesn't value it, but I value it. It just doesn't matter. Like, if you want to scrap the same vehicle, people won't even give you like 1,000, 2,000 bucks.
Right.
But the value for that vehicle with you is beyond that value.
Beyond that, yes.
Okay. So these are the people who think, yes, I have a good vehicle.
So they would get into
so for him,
conversion.
when he brings every thoughts to take a decision to buy, he has an option to buy a pure electric good vehicle, which will be costing around 80,000, which means he has to bring another scooter.
Yes.
But buying that scooter, he is actually will be buying a problem of range anxiety, because with Activas are things.
So you think that the Transport Authority, the Ministry of Road Transport Highways, the Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, is very vocal about things, conversions and everything. They've tested hydrogen cars and they've done everything, CNG tractors. So will they give you a license, say that a 15-year-old vehicle which has to be scrapped, then if it's converted into electric, will you get another,
there's a two ways
indefinite life?
Mr. Nitin Gadkari, he is very vocal and he is very informed, and he actually takes a lot of decisions very aggressively in terms of decision for in this mobility space or roadways.
So are you able to reach him and connect with him?
If you look at his all his conversations, he's been emphasizing the fact on flexi fuels, ability of a vehicle to run on multiple fuels. So this is one such step towards on a two-wheeler, where the same electric petrol scooter which was driven on a petrol can be driven on electric.
So
rather than switching from a one fuel to a new fuel type, we are saying a flexi fuel type. So what we are bringing in, which connects with his thought process and the top level, is also flexi fuel capability on existing vehicles.
So you would have to actually give him a proposal and tell him that what sort of market you're looking and how many vehicles now, if they get it converted, they need not be scrapped.
Correct.
So
what
they
are
would
looking at?
Yes.
You should look at the segment as three segments, three buckets as such.
Yes.
One is greater than 15-year-old bucket in terms of people which have vehicles which are really old. So that might, the answer to that, there might be not one solution that will suit all of them. So greater than 15 years, they might probably look at complete conversion into pure EVs. 3 to 15, where they might look at retrofitment kits wherein you are getting a bite-sized opportunity to get the advantage of an EV, okay, without taking the entire risk or the requirement capacity investment to take on another EV vehicle as such. So different, and 1 to 3 years old, probably in the next 3 years it might
Recently,
change.
like one of my friends from media, so he had a bike,
Yeah.
some Honda bike. Then he thought I'd go in for EV vehicle. So we had attended one press conference of Okinawa 4-5 years back. So we said, okay, let's book Okinawa. But they were not able, the dealer was not giving the proper feedback or whatever. So then finally he booked and he cancelled, and he's got his bike.
Yeah.
So the people, it's on the age group also there, you know. Means
The
so
preference of choice.
finally, like he spent 1 lakh or something on the bike. So now, if I tell him tomorrow that okay, you can get it, you know, your old bike into this conversion, he will not go.
Yes.
So therefore, essentially, the people when it's aging,
Yeah.
because in India that scare, you know, works. Basically, we Indians, you know, we don't win. And India is a poor country, what I want to say.
Absolutely.
So the minister, I want to send this message through all of you also, so that the minister also realize that everybody cannot afford. Today they say we'll.
That's exactly the
Yeah.
point.
So there you need to.
See, there is an aspiration
Yes,
and there is an
yes.
accessible. See, what we are
Yes.
trying to build is an accessible solution
Yes.
for people who are aspiring to become a electric mobility
Yeah,
user.
yeah.
You want to do the bit for the
Yes.
environment, but still, yes,
Yes.
they don't have the entire.
So you people need to be, the ministry, the government has to wake up and take a call that you people, you entrepreneurs, have to be promoted, so that maximum people, there'll be so many vehicles, you know. So once you,
using it for the mass.
once you scale up, then your conversion kits, the prices would come down below 10,000.
Correct. So the scale is market scale, which
Yes.
also drives their price. See, another key thing which today the market on the whole ecosystem is driven on a climate change. Okay, when we all talk about a climate change, it's about the vehicles polluting is another major contributor, like
Yes,
other like
yes,
industries also.
yes.
And if you look at that section of the vehicles, it's primarily the old vehicles. And in two-wheelers, like which is in unwritten numbers, pollutes more. And these two-wheelers are like solution for a common man, right? And you cannot just bring a policy for scrapping it. It will affect every small individual who's earning his livelihood by vehicles. And this is where this technology can bring in the change, where customer wants is an aspiration towards cleaner tech, and the outcome is we are able to correct our past. See, when we all say that in future we sell 1 lakh electric vehicle, we are talking saying that if we sell 1 lakh, we will offset. But
Yes,
nobody's
yes.
talking about
It doesn't
what's
happen.
happening on the past.
It's not happened in the last 5 years. With all these
will take a long
central
time
state
for it.
subsidies, it's not happened.
The way to do that is address the existing vehicle population,
Yes.
which are deteriorating, where the emissions are beyond its control, because the new latest norms are only applicable on new vehicles.
Yes.
These old vehicles are just running on road. This is where this can bring in a climate impact.
accelerate the climate impact by giving the accessibility to a lot more people than it is already.
So thanks for speaking to us today, and we wish you all the best, and hope that maximum people in the country, you know, there will be people like who are like women also would like to get it converted. You know, I don't know, means when we talk about scooters now, even women are riding. So women would say, okay, my old scooter is there, my pink color scooter, you know, I don't want to leave it. That old, that attachment to it. When that ad was there, na, Hamara Bajaj. That's it. Thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Take my